Throughout UFC history, we've had several champions and several long reigning champions. Champions who've been able to hold the belt for a long time, go on dominant runs. And in today's video, I want to talk about top 5 current UFC champions who just might reign for a long time, who might be here to stay, who might be here for a while. And this list will include either fighters who became champion in 2022 or, the newer addition to champs of this year in 2023. I was going to include Jamal Hill until the recent incident where he got injured and vacated the belt, which sucks, so I had to change up this list a little bit. But I'm going to start at number 5, Leon Rocky Edwards. So, of course, Leon Edwards, he just got done beating Usman twice, took the belt from him, defended the belt from him. And Leon Edwards is a very promising champion. He's got amazing skills, very good technical, sharp stand-up, and he's very well-rounded. Not only is his striking really good, but his wrestling is good as well. He's very good on the ground, elite everywhere the fight goes. And honestly, Leon Edwards has very little tough stylistic matchups. I feel like he matches well with pretty much almost everyone in the top 10 of the welterweight division. His toughest opponent, I believe, is behind him, which is Kamaru Usman. Although there is Colby Covington, that's the next biggest test for Leon Edwards out there. And Shavkat Rakhmonov, Bilal Muhammad is on a good rise right now. But I feel like Leon has a good chance against all those guys I just mentioned. And if he can get past Colby Covington, then he has a very good chance of going on a bit of a long reign and racking up a good string of title defenses. And I can very well see him heading into 2024 as and still the welterweight champion with 2 title defenses, and he can get a couple more title defenses in the year 2024, depending on who he fights. Leon right now is just one of those champions who people kind of love to doubt, just basing off that performance in the second Usman fight. People they expected him to lose the trilogy, including myself. A lot of people expect him to lose to Colby. I believe Colby's the favorite. A lot of people see Leon as that champion who's temporary, who's just going to lose to the next best guy. But Leon's the type of fighter to prove a lot of doubters wrong, and, exceed the expectations of many fans. So, yeah, I will not be surprised if Leon Edwards is, in fact, here to stay. I mean, he is here to stay, but I will not be surprised if he ends up being a longer reigning champion than people expect. Now, number 4, Zhang Weili. Magnum Zhang Weili, the 2-time strawweight champion. She first won the belt in 2019 and held it till 2021 with 1 title defense. And just recently in November, she regained her world title against Carla Esparza, becoming the 2-time strawweight champion. And I mean, right now, the only true threat to Weili's throne active right now, the most dangerous opponent for her right now in the strawweight top 5 is her next opponent, Amanda Lemos, who of course has a puncher's chance. But I believe if Zhang Weili can get past Amanda Lemos, then I don't really see who can stop her. I don't see who can take the belt from her. Zhang Weili is pretty much better than everyone else behind her in the strawweight division. It's her and then Rose, but she's not active. She's out of the picture and going to flyweight, and then everyone else. There's just such a huge skill gap between Weili and the other strawweight women. None of these girls can hold a candle to Weili when it comes to skill. Skill for skill, Weili's the best in that division, and athletically superior to everyone else in that weight class. And she's got the physicality advantage over everyone. I just feel like with Rose, who beat her twice, being kind of gone, Weili is in a league of her own. And if not Lemos, I really can't see who's going to take the belt from her. I mean, we got Tatiana Suarez. We got to see if she can get past Jessica Andrade first. And if she can, that can be an interesting challenge. But other than that, I really can't see who can challenge Wei Li, and I don't see her losing again until she moves up to the flyweight division, which she did mention doing after beating Amanda Lemos. So yeah, I mean, she could move up and lose at flyweight, but then she can come back to strawweight and continue dominating her competition. But her becoming champ also would not surprise me with Valentina losing recently. All right, moving up the list. Number 3, Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev, without a doubt, is the best lightweight in the division right now. Terrible matchup for the entire lightweight roster, simply just due to that dominant Dagestani wrestling style. He is the Khabib protege, and he truly lived up to that when he went out there and dominated Charles Oliveira. I think he would beat Oliveira again. I think he beats Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Beneil Dariush if he manages to work his way back up. Right now, I cannot see who could test Islam Makhachev. I can't see a current active lightweight on the roster beating Islam. The only true stylistic threat to Islam's throne right now is the featherweight champion and pound for pound number 1, Alexander Volkanovski. He came very close to Islam, and if he moves up, he could cut Islam's reign short. Hence why Islam is not number 1 or number 2 on the list, because Volk could move up next and he could beat Islam, and Islam could lose the belt this year. But if that rematch does not happen anytime soon, I feel like Islam is guaranteed to dominate the division for a while, and I think he's got a good 2 years in him as the world champion, and I think he could even surpass Khabib's title defense record, in all honesty. And if, let's say, Volk does move up and he beats Volkanovski again, really no one at lightweight is beating Islam Makhachev. Maybe Arman would have a chance, but I think it's going to be a while before he ever works his way up to a title shot. And number 2, Israel, the last stylebender, Adesanya, current 2-time middleweight champion. His first title reign was 2019 and 2022. He regained his belt this past April. And right now, not many middleweights are on his level. This division right now is currently still very weak, and Israel Adesanya is just clearly better than everyone in the division. I believe currently his only true challenge at the moment is Dricus du Plessis, who I take very seriously as a threat, because look what he did to Robert Whittaker. So he has a great chance at beating Israel Adesanya, but if Dricus du Plessis cannot get it done, then I think Israel Adesanya is safe from ever losing that belt. I think he's just going to continue lapping the middleweight division. Izzy's already defended that belt 5 times. The first time he had the title. And yeah, if he gets past his biggest threat right now, which is DDP, the upset king, as far as I'm concerned, these middleweights are still catching up to Israel Adesanya. And the only chance of him ever losing again by that point would be him moving up a division, the light heavyweight division. That's where he already had his first pro loss against Jan Blachowicz. That's the only way I see him losing again, but it won't be at middleweight if he gets a 6th title defense over Dricus du Plessis. He just might as well end up being the greatest middleweight of all time of this current generation. Like, he might just Anderson Silva this middleweight division for all we know, and likely hold this title for like another couple years or so. And number 1, Alejandro Pantoja, the new flyweight champion. He's been champion for about a week, coming off his 3rd career win over Brandon the Assassin Baby Moreno. Very close fight, and even though he's 3-0 over Moreno, I feel like of all the flyweights on the roster, that's really the only guy that's on Pantoja's level, the only guy with a chance at beating Pantoja, and potentially Manal Kape, because he actually did very well against Pantoja. But outside those two, everyone else in the flyweight division is food for Pantoja. I feel like the rest of the division outside Brandon and Manal Kape, they're way out of Pantoja is out of their leagues. And And Pantoja, his style is a nightmare to deal with. Not many flyweights can deal with this guy. He is like a mini Charles do Bronx Oliveira in the flyweight division, except he's like Oliveira if he had an iron chin. Relentless, overwhelming pressure with heavy hands. He is a threat on the feet, and he's a threat on the ground as well. He can take down anyone in the division, and you do not want to be on the ground with this guy because of his killer submission game, being that he is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and this guy is getting better every time we see him. And he's already so difficult to beat. And with the improvements this guy is making at the age of 33, man, it's going to be hard to take the belt off of Alexandre Pantoja. If Brandon Moreno can't do it, I really can't see who can. I mean, Davison Figueiredo was not the last guy to beat him. That was Askar Askarov, who's no longer on the roster. But Figgy was sort of like the last sort of true bad matchup for Pantoja. The one guy who truly matched well with him, but that was prime Figgy. Figgy now is washed and can't healthily make the weight. Pantoja would win that rematch so easily now. I don't see Amir Albazi doing it, although that would be an interesting fight. I can't see Brandon Royval in a rematch getting it done. I think he beats Kai Kara-France again, and everyone else is behind Pantoja, honestly. Line them all up. Alexandre Pantoja is just going to continue knocking them down one by one. And I see this guy holding the flyweight title for like a good couple of years and defending that belt a good few times, maybe 3 or 4 title defenses. We shall see. But that's it for my top 5 current UFC champions who I see reigning for a while. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with this list? Which of these 5 champions do you see losing first? And which of these 5 champions do you see holding the belt for a long time? Like and subscribe, and peace out.